as well as citizens from throughout our community that are here today. I'm Scott Seifert, Fire Chief of the Spring Fire Department. I'm joined by my command staff and our fine officers and members of the Spring Fire Department. We are here today because of tomorrow. This time I'd like to introduce Skip Strauss, the CEO and Senior Chaplain of Emergency Ministries, for our invocation. Chaplain Strauss.
Would you bow with me, please? Father God, we are so humbled that you brought us together here today, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve you and our community. We're so appreciative of the blessings that you've bestowed upon us, and now for this statue and honorarium, God, a place where we can reflect and be reminded of the sacrifices others have given. It should also serve to remind us to continually hone our skills in order to better do the job we are called upon to do. Help us, oh God, to use this honorarium along with the skills and knowledge you have allowed us to acquire, God, in a way that would bring glory to your holy name. May it also be a daily reminder to the residents of this area of the great sacrifice it takes to protect them. Walk with us through the fire, O Lord. Protect every man and woman of this department as they give their wholehearted devotion to the job to which they have been called. We thank you for allowing us to serve, God, on your shift, because you are, after all, our real chief. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Strauss. Today, the colors will be presented by Spring, Texas Troop 62 of the Boy Scouts of America with assistance from the Cy-Fair Volunteer Fire Department Honor Guard. Gentlemen.
Color guard attention. Audience, please rise. Color guard forward march. Scout salute. For those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, halt. Color guard, post the flag of the United States of America. Color guard, post the flag of the great state of Texas. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. 2.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our unveiling ceremony today. We are joined by Mike's wife, Hilda Westmeyer, daughters Debbie West Schmidt and her family, and Jennifer West McKnight and her family. Unfortunately, Mike's brother, who now lives in California, his name is Rick, he was unable to be here due to the bad weather. We are here today because of tomorrow. And at this time, I'd like to have Harris County ESD 7 Commissioner Gail Fuller welcome our first distinguished guest. Ms. Fuller.
Thank you, Chief. We are very blessed here in the Spring Volunteer Fire Department service area to have an excellent state representative. And so, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce you for State House of Representatives District 150, the Honorable Debbie Riddle.
Thank you so much. It is indeed an honor to be here with you and to be able to serve you in the Texas legislature and to be here among friends. Years ago, I actually was a firefighter with Ponderosa Volunteer Fire Department. Fred Windish can attest to that. And I rode with Cypress Creek EMS as an EMT Special Skills, which dates me a little bit. So I know firsthand the dedication and what it means to truly serve. We had a flag flown over the Capitol, and this is the flag, and there is a certificate that goes with the flag that I'll be presenting. May I read the certificate? The State of Texas House of Representatives. This certifies that the Texas flag herewith presented to Spring Volunteer Fire Department by State Representative Debbie Riddle was flown at the Capitol of the sovereign state of Texas to commemorate the dedication of the Firefighters Memorial and in remembrance of Michael West, who gave the ultimate sacrifice on March 2nd, 1985. In witness thereof and pursuant to the authority vested in me, I have hereto set my hand and seal of the office at Austin, Texas, this first day of May, March 2015. For a firefighter to give his all in the line of duty is something that I think the Bible talks about. Greater love hath no man than to give his life for another. And that's what he's done. He gave his life for all of us here. And his dedication is a legacy for his family, his children, his grandchildren, and for generations yet to come. Thank you very much for allowing me the honor to be able to join you in honoring Michael West today. May God bless you, may God bless America, and may God bless the state of Texas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Riddle. I know that Debbie is headed back to Austin. The legislature is in session, so to have her here today is quite an honor. Thank you. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harris County Fire Marshal, Chief Mike Montgomery.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. In the book of Joshua, it tells us, in the book of Isaiah, it tells us, who shall speak for us? Who shall we send? Send me. This is the creed, this is the motto of every firefighter. When the call comes in, no matter what the call is, send me. General George Patton said, for over 1,000 years, Roman conquerors returning from the wars enjoyed the honor of triumph, a tumultuous parade. In the procession came trumpeters, musicians, and strange animals from conquered territories, together with carts laden with treasures and captured ornaments. The conquerors rode in a triumphal chariot, the dazed prisoners walking in chains before them. Sometimes his children, robed in white, stood with him in the chariot or rode the trace horses. A slave stood behind the conqueror, holding a golden crown and whispering in his ear a warning that all glory is fleeting. In his Gettysburg Address, Abraham Lincoln said, "We cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain." That's why we're here today, to make sure that this glory, that this remembrance is never fleeting, that we will always remember this ultimate sacrifice. The poet Barbara Sorensen wrote, "The word monument was first used in the 13th century and is derived from the Latin word meaning momentum. It originally meant memorial, or as the French referred to it, something to remind." And in America, a memorial is generally used to honor a person or a particular historical event. But monuments and memorials also tell a story. They provide us with an emotional connection to the past. They remind us of something important, and they help us preserve our heritage. Pericles said it best when he said, "What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone, or not on the monument, but what is woven into the lives of others." Throughout the years, the Spring Fire Department has woven itself into this community. Michael West will always be a part of our community. Spring Fire Department core values sum it up very well as we remember this ultimate sacrifice today. Respect, commission, respect, compassion, and kindness, commitment and sacrifice, duty first, brotherhood always. If you would just please take a moment to remind Michael West, remember him in your own way, and thank him for the sacrifice he made for this community and his fellow man. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Montgomery. As I've said, we are here today because of tomorrow. Tomorrow is March 2nd, 2015, which each year is celebrated as Texas Independence Day. But tomorrow, it has a different meaning. It marks the 30-year anniversary of a tragic day in the lives of the West family, the community of Spring, Texas, and the Spring Fire Department. Every day, many men and women risk their lives and dedicate their time to protect the community they serve. Even though we willingly take these risks, no one expects to have to make the ultimate sacrifice. Reflect with me, please. It was March 2nd, 1985, that an arsonist set a fire at the Spring Cypress Cultural and Recreation Center just outside of Old Town Spring. District Chief Mike West, like many others, responded to the call. The fire escalated to 3 alarms, and members from neighboring departments came to assist. Some of those firefighters are here with us today. Nobody knew then why this fire would be different. But when the smoke cleared, many lives were affected, far more than anyone could imagine. Mike's mother, Irma, lost a son. His wife, Hilda, lost a husband. His 2 daughters, Debbie, who was almost 15 at the time, and Jennifer, 4 and a half, lost a father. And Rick lost a brother. And the fire service lost a friend. Today we are here to honor Mike West. Jennifer just shared with me that Mike also had a sister, Elizabeth, that I was unaware of, so I apologize for that. Today we're here to honor Mike West for the sacrifice that he made for the community he served and the fire service he loved. But equally important, we're here to let the remaining members of the West family who have had to endure life without Mike know that we will never forget him. Mike West has been honored on 4 other occasions. First, his name is displayed in the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Park on the grounds of the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Mike's name was added to the Fallen Volunteer Firefighters Monument on the grounds of the state capitol in 1999. 5 years ago, on the 25th anniversary, former Chief Alan Langford from the Spring Fire Department asked that the fire department gather at the site of the fire, where we had a moment of silence and the chief shared his memories. On April 29th, 2013, on the Senate floor of the state capitol, Senator Dan Patrick recognized the Spring Fire Department for 60 years of service to our community. And once again, many of us walked to the south end of the Capitol grounds and observed Mike's name on the monument. And today will mark the day that Mike West will forever be remembered in the town where he served. The statue we are about to unveil is sitting on a pedestal that is pointed towards the location where Mike gave his life 30 years ago, as a symbol of the direction our department and the fire service must take to help ensure that this never happens again. At this time, I ask anyone who was at that fire 30 years ago to please come up and prepare to remove the veil. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence, please. Hilda, Debbie, Jennifer, your families, firefighters, EMS personnel, law enforcement officers, and all others with us today, it is a privilege and honor to present to you this statue honoring Michael Frederick West. Please remove the veil. District Chief Michael F. West, March 2nd, 1985. Representative Riddle actually quoted what's on the in this, that one laid down his life for another, and we have it as lay down his life for his friends. That's from John 15:13. And right now I'd like to call up Jennifer West McKnight, who's speaking up.
I'm Michael's youngest daughter, Jennifer. While I remember everything, I'm blessed with a family that has made, while I'm too young to remember everything, I'm blessed with a family that's made sure I never forgot what I knew of him and all the other amazing things that for me have clouded over time. Over the years, I've held on to a few things that have formed some sort of attachment. One of these things things, as silly as it seems, is a quote by an unknown author that my dad framed. The quote's above an image of an old plane that has crash landed in a tree. The quote reads, "Aviation in itself is not inherently dangerous, but to an even greater degree than the sea, it's terribly unforgiving of any carelessness, incapacity, or neglect." When I looked up the quote last night to find out who the unknown author was, I came across another quote that helps sum up the first. The danger, but the danger is the attraction to flight. My dad served his country in Vietnam. He played guitar in a band called the Bushmen. He hunted wild game competitively, flew planes, fought fires, rode motorcycles, owned and loved old cars, dabbled in woodworking and ham radios. He loved a thrill, and with a list like that, it's easy to see he lived life to the fullest, danger involved or not. He was, I am sure of it, a superhero in his own right. I don't know that there are many people at 40 that can say they did half the things he did in his lifetime. It's only fitting for a man like him to be remembered in such an amazing way. Cast in bronze, forever engaged, volunteering his time doing what he loved. So on behalf of my mother Hilda, my sister Debbie, my dad's sister Elizabeth, his brother Rick, and all the family with us in person and in spirit, I have to start by saying thank you to everyone who came today. Those that knew him and some that may never have gotten the chance. But most of all, the amazing people behind creating such a beautiful memorial to my father. I can't think of a person more deserving of such an honor. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'd like to ask that Chaplain Paul Tabor from Emergency Ministries please come up and say a closing prayer.
Would you pray with me? Our Heavenly Chief, we thank you for this time that we have to be here today. And we know that you are the creator of life itself. You created us and you gave us memory. And Father, today we are so thankful for the memories that we have of Michael West. We thank you for his courage and his passion that we also see in these other firefighters who are gathered here today. And so as we leave this place this day, we ask for your blessings, your protection, your safety. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Paul. It took many people to make this day possible. And I'd like to thank every one of them. And I'd like to thank every one of you for being here today. This concludes our unveiling ceremony. Please join us inside. We have food, desserts, refreshments. Thank you, and have a great day.
Okay, Cotton, first of all, your name?
Wilbur Weaver, no better known as Cotton Weaver.
How long have you been in the Spring Fire Department?
61 years.
Tell me what you remember about Mike.
Mike was one fine fella. Everybody loved Mike, and Mike loved everybody.
What do you remember? You were on the fire that day. What do you remember about that?
Well, when I got there, we went in looking for Mike. We found him upstairs on the balcony. He had lost his hose somehow or another, and he couldn't find his way out. And that's where we found Mike, and there was no reviving him, so we carried him on into the hospital by ambulance.
How did it affect the department that day? I mean, it really brought down the department.
It brought the department way, way down for many, many months to come because we missed Mike. He's one of our captains, and he run the department. Although I wasn't the chief at the time, but Jim Parker was the chief. But I was chief for about, I don't know, 12, 15 years or something like that. But Mike was one fine fella. His family was nice people, and everybody just loved Mike to death.
What do you think about this unveiling today of the statue?
Oh, this is fantastic. You couldn't you couldn't honor a better man. And the people that turned out for this is wonderful.
Thank Got it. Got it.
Okay, first of all, your name, Debbie?
Debbie Westschmidt.
Debbie, how old were you when this happened to your father?
I was almost 15.
Tell me, what do you remember about your father?
Oh God, what do I not remember about my dad? Everything, hunting, going on calls with him, knowing that, you know, he was always at the station, but he was always an awesome dad, and, you know, he's missed every day.
What do you remember about the day this happened?
Actually, I remember it very well. I was at a lock-in at church, and they brought me home a little after 1 in the morning, and I remember them telling me in the driveway, and my first thought, selfish as it is, was thinking who was going to walk me down the aisle when I got married. And I was lucky enough later in life to have a wonderful stepfather who did, but it's still not the same.
What do you think about this today?
It's absolutely amazing. It's wonderful. My sister, like she said earlier, you know, my dad touched everyone in this community. He, not only our family, but everybody that was here today, you know, and it's wonderful.
Lady, what about you and your grandfather, knowing this represents him and all these firefighters are out here today?
I didn't meet him because she was so young, but I still feel like I knew him very well because they told me a lot of stories about him and how he impacted our lives and how amazing he was. It was just fantastic to hear about him.
What do you think about this today?
Like she said, it's amazing, and I didn't know, I thought I wasn't gonna cry because I haven't met him, but I cried a lot, and it's a beautiful statue.
Thanks.